Hello everyone, Dominic here, one half of Spoiler Alert, and I'm doing this video solo because I'm trying something new. I want to talk about television. Mike and I talk about movies all the time. We love them, I still love them, but I also love television and I want to talk about it. So, the video. And in particular for this video, I want to talk about mystery shows because I love a good mystery. Monk, Columbo, The Mentalist, I watch them all and I love them. And so for this video, I want to talk about the mystery shows that are on TV right now that I am following. And the first on my list is the Matlock reboot. And unfortunately, this is a disappointment to me. And I'm sorry if you love the show. The thing is I love the old Matlock. Andy Griffith with his southern genteel charm, lulling suspects into a false sense of security before he goes in for the kill in the courtroom finale. Oh my God, love it. I've watched those episodes 3 times over and I would watch them again in a heartbeat. I don't know why I love them so much, but I do. Which is why when I heard they were rebooting Matlock, starring the phenomenal Kathy Bates nonetheless, I was so excited. And that excitement may be the reason for my disappointment because I set the bar too high. I love Matlock, was excited to see the new one, and I just couldn't get into it. I feel Kathy Bates, the amazing actress that she is, I don't feel that she is living up to the role. I feel the writing's a little thin. I feel they really rely on a lot of ageism. Kathy Bates is an older woman whose whose conception in Matlock, instead of being Southern genteel, is that she's an older woman. And in her own words, older women seem to have a type of invisibility. And so people let their guard down around them because they often don't notice them. And I'm not sure that's true. I'm not an older woman. Her workmates in the law firm that she's at are 2 much younger people. I don't know if they're millennials. I honestly don't know what generations are called these days. But just the difference in age and the difference in attitude, a lot of the writing relies way too much on that, in my opinion. The television producer behind this is Jenny Erman, whose other shows include The Gilmore Girls, 90210, Jane the Virgin, and Charmed. And to me, with that resume, those are great shows. It just seems like an odd leap into a mystery, into Matlock. And I'm wondering if that dissonance is causing some of my disappointment, what I would expect versus what the show actually is. And let me be upfront, this disappointment is mine alone. The series seems to be very well received. Kathy Bates has received 2 awards for her role on the show, so it seems to be doing well. My opinion. Just saying it like it is. The next show on my list is High Potential. And the jury is still out on this one. It stars the phenomenal Caitlin Olsen from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And she plays the main character, Morgan Guillory. And she supposedly has an IQ of 160. It notices everything, overthinks things. And this is supposed to be a liability to her. And so she works as a cleaning lady at the LA Police Department. One night, she happens to see a case file. She ends up pointing out a number of discrepancies to the police, and they come to learn her value as a consultant. And so now she's this monk-like character, hyper-intelligent, notices everything, details that most people wouldn't, picks up on things that most people wouldn't, and therefore solves cases. However, she's not forgive my language, she's not a total dick like I thought Monk was. I love the show Monk, but I tried to watch it again, and his character is just so disturbing at times. It's difficult for me to watch. Now, the reason the jury is still out on this one is because, man, I love the first episode. The pilot for High Potential, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park. But the reason for that, I think, is that it was written by Drew Goddard. And he's worked on a bunch of other shows that I love. He was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was on Angel. He was on Lost. Movie-wise, he wrote for World War Z. He wrote for The Martian. And so I like a lot of things that he has put out, much like the first episode of High Potential. However, subsequent episodes, in my opinion, have been weaker. The details Morgan notices, not as exciting. Plots somewhat thinner. Things solved in the last 10 minutes through some random occurrence rather than some excellent detective work. This show is not entirely original. I should point out that it is based on the French-Belgian show HPI, which I would assume, I haven't seen it, but I would assume it's pretty much the exact same thing with a French-Belgian flair instead of the American flair that they put on it. So I still haven't made it quite to the first season, and so the jury, as I said, is still out. I'm pretty sure it's been picked up for a second season. I will be watching, and I hope it becomes a little more even. The third show I want to talk about is the Amazon series Reacher. And if you're a fan of the Lee Child Jack Reacher series of novels, I cannot recommend this series enough. They really nailed the character that is Jack Reacher. When they started coming out with the movies, I was super disappointed. Again, much like my excitement for the reboot of Matlock, because my love of the old Matlock, my love of the Reacher series, the books, made me super excited when I heard they were making movies. But that excitement turned to a mild disappointment when I found out they cast Tom Cruise. The movies aren't bad. They are faithful reproductions of a lot of the Jack Reacher stories. Jack Reacher is such a singular character, and he's very well described in the books. And so Tom Cruise is such a shift as to what has always been in my mind Jack Reacher-wise, that it was really hard to take the movies at face value. It was really hard to get into the movies, even though they're not bad. You want to watch the movies? You could do worse. They're not bad movies. However, the series, the Amazon series, the choice of the lead, Alan Rickman, oh my God, he is perfect. I've seen him in a few things. I've seen him as Aquaman on Smallville. He was in Teen Titans. I've liked him, but wow, he really shines in this Jack Reacher series. The writing is fantastic. I've read all the books, and these seasons are based on the books, and I'm still hanging on every episode. Again, I always like to go to the creative forces behind the show. The writing on this series is Nick Santora. And if you've never heard of him, because I haven't, I had to look him up. He's written for things like The Sopranos, The Guardian, Law and Order, Prison Break, Lie to Me, and Scorpion. So really great chops. That's a great resume for something like Reacher, and it works. It works. I'm working my way through the third season right now. I hope more seasons are to come. Can't recommend that enough. The next show on my list is NBC's Poker Face. And when I first thought about writing this list, I was reluctant to include Poker Face, mainly because I had watched the first season, loved the first season, heard nothing about a second season. And I hate recommending shows that are like dead ends. I just heard they're currently filming the second season, and I could not be happier. Poker Face stars Natasha Lyonne, who plays Charlie Cale. She is a casino worker with the amazing superpower that she can automatically tell a lie. This isn't like the show Lie to Me, where they look at for micro expressions, or it's not like she's extraordinarily deductive like in High Potential. No. She's got this gut instinct where she can just hear a lie from across the room and bam, it lands and she automatically knows. And as you might guess, this gets her into trouble. In the first episode, this causes her to realize that her boss is a murderer. And so for the rest of the season, she is on the run from him, picking up odd jobs like this traveling monk character that rolls into town and picks up a part-time job, and then, unluckily enough, invariably finds herself involved in a murder. This show is basically an homage to Columbo. I can't say it any plainer. If you love Columbo like I do, you have to see Poker Face. It's like seeing the show Columbo for the first time all over again. I can't recommend this enough. The creative engine behind this show is filmmaker Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson was the writer and director of the science fiction movies Looper and Star Wars The Last Jedi, which seems like an odd project for someone who does Poker Face. A little closer to home, he also was behind the mysteries Knives Out and Glass Onion. He's also wrote and directed a few of the episodes of Breaking Bad. So again, nice resume for a mystery. If you like mysteries, and particularly if you like Columbo, you have to see Poker Face. Do yourself a favor, get into it. Watch the first season on Peacock before the second season comes out. I know I'll be waiting. Lastly, I want to share a program that is very near and dear to my heart. I don't hear it talked about enough. I don't know how many people know about it. And that is BBC's Ludwig. Ludwig, once again, much like High Potential, if I had to sum it up in just a sentence, a phrase, think monk who is not a dick. In fact, think monk who's incredibly adorable. The star of the show is the comedian David Mitchell from Peep Show and that Mitchell and Webb look. So I was very excited when I heard he was cast as the lead in a mystery show. He plays introverted puzzle maker John Taylor. And he's pulled out of his comfortable life when his identical twin brother goes missing. His identical twin brother just happens to be a well-regarded detective chief inspector with the Cambridge police force. And it's his wife, Lucy, who is played by Anna Maxwell Martin of Good Omens, just in case you know. She pulls Ludwig into the mystery of his brother's disappearance. And of course, to solve this mystery, he has to pretend he is his brother and go into the police department and actually solve murders. He is incredibly smart and insightful, but also endearingly innocent and a bit autistic, if I'm being honest. That's how I perceive him. This is one of the most enjoyable mystery shows I've seen in a long time. The first season is out. The second season is in the works. So again, if you like mystery shows, don't sleep on Ludwig. This is definitely one to see. So there you have it. These are the mystery shows I'm following or still obsessing over. Check them out. And even if you don't like them, at least you can make fun of me for liking them. So I'm going to end this, get back into talking about movies, and hopefully I'll be back later. Bye.